Okay, welcome back to another video tutorial segment on Phire CMS. On this one, we're going to go over the different things you can do to set up different users and filter them out to have access to various sections and various sites. So if you click to System Users, you can see that you have Add Users, View Active Sessions, and then you have the list of users. You have the one that, the original one you've created. You can click on that and you can edit that, to change some information. View active sessions, you can click and see who's logged in, where they're logged in from. If you happen to see somebody that's not allowed, you can remove that session and it'll bounce them out. And then of course you can just go ahead and add a user. So let's go ahead and add a test user. Okay, so here's what is pretty cool, pretty powerful features that you can filter which sites the user is allowed to edit. And this can be for security reasons. Say you only want that person to be able to edit the test domain that we set up. And it also could be just for convenience in that if you have a couple of sites that have, a good number of pages and the system's listing both sites together with all their pages, it gets a little hard to follow. So you can actually create a user that's just assigned to one site and you see just that content. It's also good if you're working on multiple sites maybe to do that, because if you do have access to both sites or multiple sites, you might get mixed up on which site you're working on and accidentally move something around or edit something on a site you're not supposed to. So it's good for security reasons and just for convenience. Maybe you want to filter out a site that you're not working on for this particular user. But for this one, we're going to go ahead and assign them to the test domain that we set up. Now the access is, what that does is obviously blocked is they can't log in at all. Restricted is they have access to just content and assets. Basic is they have access to content, assets, and extensions. And then full is they have access to all of that plus system, sites, and members. That's as far as that goes. And then admin is the whole kit and caboodle. They can edit users, add users, and edit the system configuration. So that's the last line of, between full and admin, the last line of demarcation of allowed access. So what we'll do is we'll let this one have full access. We'll say save, and there that one is, the new test admin. We'll log out. We'll go ahead and log in with the test admin that we just created. And you'll see that we only assigned them to the test domain, and that's all we see over here under the site overview. We just see that one site. We go to pages. All we see is that one page that we created for it. We don't see the pages for the other site. You go to templates. Again, all we see is the ones that are available to that site. So there you go. A real easy way to filter out this person can't work on the other site. They're only allowed to work on this site. So that's how sites work with users, and it's a really good way to control that. Another thing that is available on a per site kind of basis is, let me click into it here, is what's called open authoring. So on this particular site, the Phire site that we set up, the first one, we can turn, by default, open authoring is on. And what that means is that any user that's assigned to the site can edit any content by any other user. If we turn open authoring off, then that means that, let's go assign that test admin back over to the Phire site. What that means now is that we've turned off open authoring on the Phire site, the original site. So what that means is when we log in as that test admin now, we'll see the content that was all created by the first system admin, but we won't be able to edit it. So that's what open authoring does, is it basically shuts down editing by other members of other members' content. So that way, if you really want to be strict and set up those kind of guidelines, you can. Now, the only admin that is immune from that setup is any admin user that is set to full admin. So, for example, the system admin is set to full admin, so that user would be able to override the open authoring setting and edit anything, that they wanted to edit. But anything below that, full, basic, restricted, they would have to adhere to the open authoring rules. So that's another way to kind of filter out and control use of the system by the users. So that's kind of an overview of users. Stick around. I think we have a couple more we're going to do, and hope you're enjoying Phire CMS. Thanks.